Hello, this is Kyria Marie with Kyria Health, Holistic Nutrition and Health Coaching. I am a proud intern of Lori Rose Holistic, and if you've been following us, we've been doing a series of blogs all about depression, and now we are culminating with a free depression webinar. So I hope you will join us and enjoy this teaching on holistic approaches to support your healing process out of depression. By the end of this training, you will know 5 of the root causes of depression, one of the best tools for supporting your overall health, and the small lifestyle changes you can make to have a big impact on your joy and well-being. Bonus! For all those of you who stay until the end of the webinar, you will be invited to sign up for a free personal one-on-one 20-minute consultation to answer any further health questions you may have. So this adds up to be an hour of support for all Lori Rose Holistic Health fans. So my name is Kyria Marie. I am the founder and owner of Kyria Health. I'm a nutritionist, a health coach, and I specialize in functional blood chemistry analysis. I'm getting my master's from John F. Kennedy University out here by San Francisco, California, and health is my passion. I really believe in holistic health and that every single person is an individual, and I will share more about that in this webinar. So why should we care about depression, right? It turns out that depression affects over 350 million people worldwide. That is wild. So it's really, really important that we take a moment to understand this because that's 5% of the world's population. It's also pretty likely that you're listening to this because you've had depressive symptoms yourself, or maybe you know or love or care about someone who has depression. In which case, the more armed you are with knowledge, the more equipped you will be to help them. So symptoms of depression. There's emotions, thoughts, behavior, and physical symptoms that go along with depression. It's very common to have one of these, right? Like crying or sadness or confusion. But when it's diagnosed as depression, you have a multitude of these for an extended period of time. Functional medicine versus conventional medicine. So we love and respect the conventional model. It's very, very important to be specialized, to have a diagnosis based on symptoms, to have high technology. But for the purposes of this broadcast, we're focusing on functional medicine because it's health-oriented, patient-centered. It really is holistic. It can be very, very cost-effective. And the key thing I want you to focus on is that it looks at underlying causes of the disease versus just treating the symptoms. So root causes. These are 5 of the main things that could be behind your depression: birth control pill, gut-brain inflammation, food, environment, and underlying diseases. We'll dive into them more. The pill. So turns out a lot of young ladies and older ladies, all sorts of ladies, are on the pill, right? I want you to know about Daisy. It's a non-hormonal birth control method that is proven by research to be just as effective as the pill. Now, the birth control pill, a very, very common side effect, is depression. So much so that 30% of women who take the pill eventually quit due to dissatisfaction from these harmful side effects like depression. And there was even a study that said women who were prescribed the combined pill have been shown to be as much as 23% more likely to be treated with antidepressants. Big stuff. Gut-brain inflammation. If there's one word that you remember today about depression and why it happens, inflammation. It has the word flame. Flam, that's not even a word. It has the word flame in there. So think about your head and your gut being inflamed, right? So evidence shows that depression is triggered by the inflammatory response system. Gut inflammation specifically has a significant impact on brain health, and healing it could help reverse depressive symptoms. This inflammation can start from sugar, pathogens, chemicals, grains, or inflammatory foods, or physical or mental stress. Unfortunately, once inflammation starts, kind of like a flame, like a fire, it keeps burning until you actively address it. So the solution, you can help heal inflammation with exercise, specific supplementation, meditation, and diet. Food. There's a lot of things that are inflammatory, right? So you want to reduce or ideally avoid your intake of gluten, conventional dairy, sugar, vegetable oils, GMO foods, and you want to eat a lot of vitamin B12 foods. So gluten, dairy, and vegetable oils and sugar are the most inflammatory foods on the market. The inflammation leads to gut permeability, also known as leaky gut, and these are proven to promote depressive symptoms. So even if you don't have something like celiac disease, gluten has an adverse effect on nearly everyone, and even dairy leads to gut permeability and decreased brain functioning. Fun fact, or maybe sad fact, the average American eats 152 pounds of sugar per year, which is 76 times the amount of our ancestors. Just like gluten and dairy, it promotes inflammation, which leads to depression. Vegetable oils, you probably heard of them before. They're things like safflower oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, soybean oil, canola oil. They're made with chemical solvents and which are unrecognizable to the body. So when you eat something that the body doesn't recognize, it starts to tag it, which leads to inflammation because your body's trying to fight this foreign substance. It doesn't know what it is. GMO foods stand for genetically modified organisms. Glyphosate, our enemy, is the active ingredient in Roundup, which is the world's most widely used herbicide. This pesticide has so many dangerous effects, like causing cancer or leading to chronic diseases like depression. As far as the B vitamins go, there are 8 different B vitamins, but vitamin B12 is your BFF when it comes to combating depression, because studies have shown that a simple tiny deficiency in vitamin B12 can lead to depression and anxiety. So really important to know where your blood is at. That way you can assess where your nutrition is at so you can support yourself to be happy and healthy. Pop quiz! What is the number one reason why certain foods lead to depression? Dum dum dum. Hint, it starts with an I. Inflammation. You got it right. So I want you to focus on the bottom right-hand corner here. What is causing the inflammation and what can we do about it, right? So this is functional medicine, functional nutrition versus conventional medical model, where we're looking for the root cause. That way we don't just put a Band-Aid or put a prescription or put something on top of the inflammation, but we're really trying to figure out where is that flame, where is that fire coming from? That way we can extinguish it once and for all. Environment. So the environment can also be inflammatory. And when we're saying environment, we're not just saying like this example here of the pollutants in the air, but we're also saying depression from environmental causes of social, emotional, occupational, and physical manifestations. So clearly having like an air filter, water filter in your home, but even a friendship filter, right? You need to filter out relationships that are toxic and not promoting your best health. Or maybe it's a TV filter and you need to filter out the environment of what you're watching on TV. An emotional filter, right? You can see how that goes. So think of environment as being anything like external, outside of your body, in what you are living in that could either be toxic or beneficial to your health. Underlying diseases is one of the 5 root causes of depression. So there's other causes, but we're just focusing on 5 for today. 2 of the main ones are blood sugar imbalance and hypothyroid. So this is when, maybe somebody's depressed, so the doctor gives them an antidepressant, which are very useful in some cases. However, if somebody really has, insulin resistance or reactive hypoglycemia, or they're, type 1 or 2 diabetic, they've got something going on with their blood, or maybe they have hypo or hyperthyroidism, like this diagram here shows. If they're just getting an antidepressant, they're not getting their needs met. They're not getting their blood sugar balanced, which is going to have a whole nother host of problems for them. And they're not getting their thyroid met, which is basically the king of their hormones, right? that gland right there in your throat. It's like 1 by 2 inches box, essentially. And it's so, so important for so many metabolic functions in the body. So that's why we need to assess the underlying diseases, because maybe depression, like you can see here in the purple column all the way on the bottom, is a symptom of hypothyroidism. So if you're just treating the symptom with an antidepressant or something along those lines, you're not really treating the root cause. So that inflammation or that fire is going to keep burning until you treat the root cause. Okay, so to learn more about root causes, this is an incredible blog written by an amazing author, if I do say so myself, and it dives way deeper into those 5 root causes that you can address today. Second part, functional blood chemistry analysis. This is FBCA for short, and it is one of the best tools for supporting your healing process out of depression, not to mention your overall health. FBCA is my favorite thing in the entire world, and here we go. So functional blood chemistry analysis, it helps you to identify the root cause of what's going on in your body, because it assesses the metabolic and nutritional deficiencies and imbalances of what's going on. So if you look here at this graph, the lab values are the red ones, so that's either high or low. The yellow and green are the functional ranges. So yellow is going to be high or low. As you can see in the blue boxes, they're normal, but they're not healthy. They're just functionally low or functionally high. That if you got your test done by your normal doctor, they would say that the yellow is fine. Whereas if you look at it through the functional model with a functional nutritionist or practitioner, they're going to say yellow is not so fine. It's okay, but we want you to be in the green. We want you to have optimum health. We want you to feel as happy, as healthy, be depressed-free, all of that as possible. So what is your blood, right? This is a fun graphic here that shows what your blood is with the plasma and your white blood cells, your platelets, the red blood cells. You can see what's inside of the plasma there, the proteins, the nutrients, the weights, the gases. You probably already know that your blood is a liquid that flows from your head to your toes, carrying oxygen and carbon dioxide to and from the tissues in the body. What's the best part? It's 100% unique to you. So when we do this blood test, which your blood is just like your own, nobody else's in the entire world, we get to look at all of these different markers. The blood test that I use with my clients is a comprehensive bioscreen. It's over 200 different markers, plus there's a urinalysis included. So we can see all these different patterns and systems and look really, really deeply into your blood by seeing where the imbalances are, right? And by learning how we can best support your optimum health by seeing what your health goals are and where your body is physically at these days. So there's 3 steps to use a functional blood chemistry analysis with depression. So the first thing, you want to get your blood tested. You can definitely go to your doctor and say, hey doc, I want all of the blood tests that I can possibly get for free with my insurance. Most likely they'll be able to do like a lipid panel, see your cholesterol, maybe your blood sugars. They might be able to do a CBC with differentials and see, you know, where your red blood cells are at, your white blood cells. But that might be it. So the panel that we were just looking at has over 200 different markers. It is the king of the kings. You can buy it yourself online through directlabs.com. It costs $349. If you're working with a functional nutritionist like myself, we can get it at a discount for $310. And I've had clients before say that they go to their doctor to get all the labs and all the markers that we use, and it ends up being like a $1,500 deductible, which is insane. So, cross your fingers. Maybe you have incredible insurance. I would definitely ask your doctor. You could take a screenshot of this page here. Those are really, really essential markers for seeing the whole big picture of your body. You don't want to just see your glucose and your cholesterol. You want to see everything. Back to this page. Or you can buy it yourself, or you can work with somebody like myself or a doctor that you know, hopefully a functional doctor, so that they can see those metabolic and biochemical imbalances and nutrient deficiencies. So that number 2, you learn about your body. Your body is unique. You can be empowered with the knowledge to support your health with this blood chemistry, right? How cool to get a specific recipe of goodness tailored perfectly to you versus just saying, oh, you're depressed, or oh, you have this. Let's just put a Band-Aid on, just take this, like they do for everybody else. Step 3, establish an action plan. So working with a health coach, nutritionist, somebody who knows about blood chemistry, they can help you make an action plan perfectly tailored, uniquely 100% to you. Same graph that we saw before. When a doctor looks at your blood work, they're looking at the diagnostic ranges, versus when a functional nutritionist or medicine practitioner looks at your blood work, they're looking at it through the optimum ranges. So we can see that here. So the item names are on the left-hand side. The functional ranges, if you look at it in comparison to the laboratory ranges, they're much more narrow. They're smaller. So the laboratory ranges are used to be diagnostic, to diagnose diseases, whereas functional ranges, we're not diagnosing diseases. Instead, we're focusing on optimum health. So you can notice that they're a little bit more strict. They're smaller than the laboratory ranges. So when we're looking at BUN, chloride, phosphorus here, they're functionally low or high. So they're okay. They're not lab low like the hemoglobin A1C, but they're functionally low or high. We want you to be in the green, where that's optimum health, where all your processes and systems are working harmoniously so that your body is in full homeostasis and you are feeling fantastic. So this helps us to look at what's functionally low or high, look at what's in the yellow, and help it bring it back into the green before it goes into the red and it causes your body stress and damage. So to learn more about functional blood chemistry analysis, you can read these blogs on the Lori Rose Holistic website. The DIY Depression Detective is awesome. I wrote all the blood markers and the functional and laboratory ranges that you need to know. So that way, if you have an old blood test hanging around, you can be your own detective and look at it and see what's going on there. There's also this other one, Depression Is in Your Blood, to learn more about the symptoms and how functional blood chemistry analysis works. Still, I recommend working with a professional so they can help you see even deeper, but it is fun and worthwhile to try and, take your health into your own hands, figure it out. All right, part 3, small changes lead to a big impact. So there's 3 parts here. If you just Google, how can I help my depression, things like that, you will find a gazillion and one things to help. However, when we really dive into these 3 things, these are all backed by science and research. You can read more about it in the blogs. There's actually links to the direct articles. Food, wellness wheel, and herbs are 3 things that we are focusing on today so that you can make these little changes and hopefully see a big impact in your mental health and well-being. Best foods to eat. So this is the paleo pyramid, and you can do this 3 times a day or as many times as you eat. Healthy fats, bring it on. Those are things like coconut, olive oil, avocados, and any fats from pastured or grass-fed animals. Lots of plants, veggies and fruits, fermented foods, and high-quality meats. If you're going to be eating meat, really, really make sure it's pasture-raised, grass-fed, free-range, organic, or wild-caught. Better for the environment, better for the animals. Maybe not so much better for your money. However, the argument there is that you get more bang for your buck. So you don't need to eat as much meat because the meat from healthy animals in a healthy environment actually has more vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. So you can eat smaller amounts of meat. I know it's on the bottom of this food pyramid, but this is based off calories, and meat is more calorie dense than fruits and berries, for example. So you can have smaller amounts of meat. So really, I would argue that eating pasture-raised meat is more expensive than, factory farmed meat because you just eat less of it. And unlimited vegetables. All of these foods really, really deflate inflammation in the body, and they'll help your hormones so that you're not feeling quite so many swings, hopefully, with the depressive symptoms. The wellness wheel. This is my favorite thing in the whole world, journaling. So This wheel here I use in all my Facebook groups, and I'll post a link below so you can join if you want to use, but focusing on your overall holistic wellness. So these are all the different areas. So if you're feeling like you're having depressive symptoms, it can be very, very nourishing to step back and look at maybe where they're coming from. Maybe your financial health is perfect, but you're feeling like your social health or your emotional health is lacking a little bit. There's an exercise that I use with my clients right here. This is another good page to take a screenshot of if you want. But 4 steps, an awesome, easy, simple 10-minute activity to journal maybe once a week. Step 1, rate your areas of wellness on a scale of 1 to 10. So 10 would be the perfect, super strong in my life. My spiritual health is great. I've got an awesome community, whatever it is. Number 1, underdeveloped. Maybe my occupational health is a 1. I don't have a job. I want to get a job. Something like that. Just put a little 1 through 10 on each area. Step 2, take about 2 minutes to journal per area of wellness and write whatever comes to mind, your hopes, your fears, your resources, your challenges, your ideas, your goals, etc. No strict journal prompt here. Just look at the word environmental and write something down, whatever comes to mind. Step 3, make an action plan to move forward on improving your wellness wheel. So if you're working with a health coach like me or somebody else, maybe if you're already seeing a therapist, you can introduce this idea to them and pick one area a week to focus on. So if you really want to focus on your physical health, what could you do? Could you stretch for 5 minutes in the morning when you wake up? Could you, maybe do squats while your food is cooking? Any kind of silly thing like that. Small baby steps lead to big results. So make a specific goal that you want to do. For example, intellectual health, you could read a book for 5 minutes every night. You can think of all sorts of different things. Step 4, repeat this exercise at the start of each week and choose a new area to focus on. So if you keep journaling about your experiences, if you have a friend as an accountability buddy, or if you work with a health coach, we can help to keep you accountable, to encourage you, to help you see your patterns over time, to help you see your development. It's a really, really wonderful exercise and tool for seeing the big picture, right? Sometimes when we're feeling depressed, we're feeling alone, we're feeling trapped, we're feeling like we're in the dark. But if you can take your own flashlight and you can stand up and you can look at your life through these 10 different perspectives, it helps us to see where our shortcomings, our challenges, our fears are coming from. And it also helps us to see, wow, I have a really strong intellectual and financial health. Maybe I can use these things to improve my environmental and emotional health, right? You can start experimenting with that. So these are just some quick pictures. I just Googled wellness wheel in Google, and you can find so many thousands of different types of wellness wheels. Find one that you like and save it as your screenshot on your phone and look at it, right? Anytime you look at your phone, you'll kind of be able to check in and be like, oh, how is my intellectual health doing? How's my social health? Or wow, I'm really killing it on my physical health today. It helps us to remember that big picture perspective. This was just a quick Google search of wellness wheel activities. There's so many different wellness wheel assessments you can do online, free worksheets, free activities. If you're getting into it, you can explore a lot of resources. Okay, part 3, use herbs to promote your best mental health. So herbs are this incredible gift by Mother Nature, right? There's so many different types, and they help different types of depression with different types of people. So it's really, really important to recognize that the best way to use herbs to be safe is to work with an herbalist. Herbs are powerful. Don't underestimate just because they're natural that they're not powerful. They can definitely have contraindications with medications, and they could work adversely with some people with specific symptoms. So working with a trained herbalist like Dr. Lori Rose is a very, very good idea. These are just a quick scan. We talk about it a lot more in the blog in detail if you want to read more about it. This is based off of the Chestnut School of Herbal Medicine, David Winston and Dr. Lori Rose's teachers. So mainly for the purposes of this webinar, I just want you to see that there's a lot of different types of depression, and you use different herbs for different types. So that's why working with a professional is so, so important. seasonal affective disorder, liver-based depression, nutrient deficiency, GI, thyroid. We can also see how this connects back to the functional blood chemistry and why it's so important to get your blood tested to know where you're at on a physiological level. Your biology is 100% unique to you, and unless you know where you're at, how can you help yourself, right? Right? It's so common to take our car in for a diagnostic so that we can help, I don't know that much about cars, so that we can help our engine or fill up our tires or get, window washing fluid in our car, whatever it is. You need to take yourself in and get a diagnostic and see where you're at, right? We give our computers and our phones software updates all the time. Give yourself an update by seeing where you are at on a cellular level. Antidepressant tea. Now, this is safe if you just want to start playing with herbs on your own. Really, really yummy from MotherEarthNews.com. St. John's wort, lemon, milky oat, chamomile, and lavender. Mix them together, boil them up in some water, let it steep for 15 to 20 minutes or as much to 4 hours. And it really, really does have a soothing effect. I'd recommend starting at night with it. See how it affects you, because you don't really, if it's too relaxing, you don't want to use it in the morning or before driving. For those of you who don't want to start with the tea, you can start with chocolate. This is one of my favorite research studies, and it talks all about the benefits of cacao. Literally, it says chocolate also induces positive effects on mood and is often consumed under emotional stress. Now, if you start breaking out the Snickers bar and the Reese's peanut butter cups, that is not going to help your emotional stress. And going back to inflammation, it's going to increase the inflammation in your body, which is going to increase the depression. But if you start with cacao, 100% pure raw cacao, hopefully organic, put that in a smoothie, mix it up with some almond milk. I'll post a link underneath to my blog that I just wrote about how to make your own chocolate. Super, super healthy chocolate. You can literally feel proud while eating it, like it's a vitamin, like it's helping your mood. This research article goes into how it also helps cognitive performance and is neuroprotective. So this is a blog, The Happy Trifecta. It talks more about these 3 ways to soothe your depression. So overall, in summary, to support your healing process out of depression, you want to first identify the root cause. You can help do this through functional blood chemistry analysis to understand the underlying imbalances in your body to promote your optimum health. Lastly, you can use food, the wellness wheel, and herbs, or maybe some chocolate daily for your mental health. If you have any questions or comments, please do let me know. You can just leave a comment below, join my Facebook group. I'll post that below also. And you will receive an email with an invitation for a free personal one-on-one 20-minute consultation if you have any questions. In order to receive this email with the invitation, please email me at kyria@kyriahealth.com, kyria@kyria.com, and I'll post that below also. And I will happily gift you with a free personal consultation so that I can help you reach your health goals. My favorite quote in the world: you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Buddha. Thank you so much for joining our webinar. Please take care of yourself. Do what you need to do. Listen to your heart, listen to your body, learn about your body, and email me so that we can set up a free meeting and I can help you move forward with your health goals. I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic day and talk soon. Bye-bye.